Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are safe at your home with your parents. And in previous lecture we have learned about the uh, physical transfer of the shares as well as the provisions regarding the transfer of shares and as well as the some important topics regarding the share transfer. And I want to say in this video lecture that you people have already not watched the video completely as far as your study is concerned. So, as per my concern, if you are not able to see your videos which are related to your study, at that time you will not be able to write a single word in your examination is concerned. So I request you all to kindly watch it very carefully while you are observing the videos, and if you are not able to see the whole video up till the end, at that time you have no any way to learn a very particular way. So I request you all to kindly watch the videos up till the end so that you will be able to write a single word or a single topic in the same scenario. But if you are not able to do like that, at that time you will not be able to write a single word, and you have also be misguided so far the examination is concerned that this our topic are not in our syllabus or is not learned very carefully, so might be trouble can be arranged. So I request you all to kindly watch these videos up till the end so that you will be able to learn the topics as well as you can write it very carefully. Now we in today's video lecture we are going to learn about the procedure of the physical share transfer. In that you will be able to learn about the how can the physical shares can be transferred. Share transfer procedure can be divided into two types of two types according to the types of the share. See here the mention they are mentioned that the here there are two types of the share. First one is the transfer of the physical share, and second one is the transfer of the dematerialized share. See, transfer of the shares means physical shares means the shares which can be touched or physically can be seen or physically can be moved from the one place to another place. That is the physical share. And next one is the dematerialization of the shares. Dematerialization of the shares means the shares which are very carefully handled on the video on the computer or the digital way, that is known as the digital share, demate share. Clear? Now the procedure of the physical share transfer, which can be asked in a 3 or 4 mark questions. The first one is the procedure for the total share transfer. Means how can be the total share can transfer, where shareholder transfer all his share in favor of other person, then the procedure to be followed is as under. Say the full share can be transferred means if any person holds the 100 share, at that time he will transfer the 100 shares, that is known as the full transfer. First one is the obtaining the share transfer form. The person who wants to transfer his share has to obtain a transfer form, that is known as the transfer instrument, duly signed and sealed by the company registrar. See, whenever any person wants to transfer his share, at that time they have to compulsorily get a transfer form, that is known as the transfer instrument in other words, and it will be signed by the company registrar. It will be signed as well as the sealed by the company registrar. Next one is the fill up the details in the transfer form or transfer instrument. In a share transfer form, full details regarding the share buyer and share seller are to be mentioned, such as name, address, name of the shareholding company, market value of the shares, share certificate number, etc. See, while you are getting the transfer form, transfer instrument, at that time you have to compulsorily fill the necessary details like the name of the person who holds the shares, address of the person, name of the holding company, market value of the share, and the share certificate number, etc. details should be filled in the transfer form. According to the provision, necessary stamp duty should be affixed and signed in the presence of a witness. See, after getting necessary details filled up, then you have to compulsorily mention the necessary stamp duty and affix the sign in the presence of the witness. Without the witness and its signature, it cannot be a transfer or it cannot be a valid. The witness has to fill his name, address, and business, etc. Also, see, also witness, the person who became a witness, they have to also show their necessary details like the name, address, the business, in which type of business he belongs. All the necessary details should be mentioned in the transfer form. Otherwise, it cannot be transferred. Now, next one is the submission of the transfer instrument and share certificate. The purchase of a share himself or through a share broker delivers the complete transfer from the along with the share certificate to the registered office of the company. See, after getting all the necessary details and the form should be filled at that time, the person who wants to transfer or a person who wants to purchase, he personally can be deliver it through the company's registered office. Otherwise, he can send the transfer instrument with the help of the agents, brokers, etc. A letter of the allotment is enclosed if no share has been issued. See, if no share certificate is issued at that time, they have to attach a letter of the allotment which can be a proof that this particular person has allotted this number of shares. So if you are not able to attach a share at that time, you have to attach the letter of allotment, and it is a proof that you have hold this number of shares in the particular company. Transfer can also be executed in case of the other than a sale. For example, in case of a gift to someone. See, transfer can be applied if you want to give a gift to a particular person. At that time, it can be a valid for the any kind of person. And in case of the gift, you have to submit it and you have to follow the procedure of the transfer. However, the procedure followed is the same. See, if you are allotting a share as a gift, at that time the procedure of the share transfer procedure should be followed same. Next one is the sending the transfer receipt. See, next is that you have to send the transfer receipt. On receiving the transfer instrument along with the share certificate, the company secretary issue a receipt for the same. See, if the company has received a transfer instrument very properly, at that time they have to compulsorily give a receipt for the same that the transfer instrument is received by the company. This transfer receipt is evidence of the submission of the document of transfer. See, the transfer instrument or the transfer receipt is the proof that you have transferred the shares in another person's favor. Next one is to inform the regarding the transfer by notice. After receiving the share transfer from the share certificate, the company verifies the transfer instrument and share certificate. See, after receiving the share transfer form, or you can say the transfer receipt or transfer instrument, at that time, company verifies the whole the instruments as well as the certificates that the details which are mentioned are completely okay or not. After that, the company informs both the parties through a notice. See, after that, company informs by notice to both the parties that we have received the transfer instrument. Blank or fraud transfer can be avoided by such a notice. See, the purpose of the sending notice is that to avoid the blank or fraud transfer. If any party has objection, they are asked to inform within a 2 weeks. Means if you have any kind of doubt at that time, you have to compulsorily compel with the company within a 2 weeks, that is of the 14 days. If no objection is received from either party, it is assumed that the transfer is acceptable to both the parties. See, if no objection is received, any kind of no objection is received at that time, the it is assumed that the transfer is acceptable from the both the parties. Next one is the resolution for approval of transfer of share. After receiving share transfer application, a meeting of board of directors is convened by the secretary in which discussion are made regarding the application received for the transfer of share. See, after receiving the share transfer application, company secretary arrange a specific board of directors meeting and the whole the procedure and all the discussion for the same is concerned in this meeting. In this meeting, a resolution is passed approving the transfer of the share, which are sanctioned. See, in this meeting, the whole the discussion should be concerned at then and then the passing of the approval of the transfer of the share is sanctioned. Next one is the entering in the register of member. After passing the resolution of transfer of the share, the name of the transferor is deleted from the register of members and that of the transferee is added. See, the approval in board of directors meeting is received at that time. In the register of members, the person who had transferred the share, that is known as the transferor, means a person who had transferred the share, and his name is deleted from the register of members, and transferee means the person who had purchased the sale, that is known as the transferee, his name is added in the register of members. So he will be entitled to a person member of the company, and the person who had sold the share is removed from the register of members. Now next one is the sending the share certificate to the new shareholder. After passing the resolution of the transfer of share, the secretary writes the name of the new shareholder on the back of the share certificate and send the same with the signature of the responsible officer to new shareholder. See, after passing the resolution, the secretary receives the share certificate and the person who had purchased the sale, write the person's name who had purchased the shares in the back side of the share certificate and send it to that particular person with the duly signed of the responsible officer as well as the authority, or you can say with the necessary stamps or sign. He will send the same certificate to the particular person who had purchased the share. If share certificate is too old or there is no space to enter the name, then a new certificate is prepared and delivered to him. See, if there is no space to write a person's name at that time, company will prepare a new share certificate for a person. When then when the only there is no space for writing a particular person's name in the back side of the share certificate, at that time, only that time, a new share certificate should be prepared. Now next one is the partial share transfer. When a shareholder wants to transfer some of his share from his total holding, then he has to split his shares. See, if any person wants to transfer the half or as per his requirement, at that time he can split the shares holding by him or her. For the split, shareholders has to send his share to the register office of company. See, if he wants to split his share, at that time he or she has to send his shares to the company register office, and it can be proceed by the company secretary that all the shares or the requirement of the shares can be followed by a particular person or a secretary that he splits the shares. The company secretary splits the shares as per the requirement of the shareholder and send it back. See, the company secretary follows the procedure of the splitting of the share and send it to the person as per his requirement, and the procedure should be followed. After that, the shareholder sells his share according to requirement of as per the above procedure. See, after splitting of share, the procedure of the share transfer as above, which we have learned earlier, can be followed particularly. Now, transfer of the dematerialized share. Now, a shareholder may keep his share in physical form, but according to new provision, he cannot sell his share in a physical form. See, if any person wants to transfer a demate share, at that time the procedure of the transfer of the share should be followed. See, at at this time, if any person wants to uh, keep a physical share with him, at that time it can, but according to new rules and regulations, he cannot share he cannot sell the share in a physical form. If he wants to sell his share, he has to go for the dematerialized process. See, if you want to keep physical share, you can, but if you cannot transfer the share in the form of the physical share, but if he wants to sell his share, at that time he has to go for the procedure of the dematerialization, because it is necessary while the procedure is concerned as per the new rules and regulations. Demate share means to convert the physical share into electronic form in a specified way. See, if any person wants to convert his physical share, at that time a specified way you have to convert your physical share into a electronic form. The investor has to open a demate account with a depository participant. See, if any person wants to demate account, at that time they have to open a, a demate account with the depository participant. In India, as a depository participant, National Security Depository Limited (NSDL). This name can be asked in a one-mark question, so you have to be careful and you have to read it very careful and you have to write it very careful. NSDL or CDSL, Central Depository Services India Limited. See, if in examination CDSL's name is asked, at that time you have to compulsorily write a Central Depository Services India. See, here you have to mention India is compulsory, because CDSL is all over the world, but for a specific country it is a necessity. So while you have asked the full name of the CDSL, at that time you have to write a Central Depository Services India Limited, and it is a very essential part. Are functioning as per the agent for the deposit caretaker. See, this may ask in a one mark question that in India give a depository participants name which handles the all the deposit and its care. So while you have to write the name of the institute, that is of the NSDL and CDSL. In Organization of Commerce you have learned about this topic, and NSDL is the National Security Depository Limited, and CDSL, that is of the Central Depository Services India Limited. On behalf of these institutions, PSU, that is of the public sector unit, banks or private bank and other financial institutes open a demat account. See, On behalf of these institutes, the PSU banks, that is of the public sector banks, and all the private banks follows the procedure of the demate account. After opening this account, the said institution provides an instruction slip to account holder. See, when you have opened a demate account, at that time you have a instruction slip, and with the help of the instruction slip you can go for the procedure of the transfer of the demate share. After opening, it is used by the account holder for the purchase or sale of the securities. See, this instruction slip is used for the help of the account holder for the purchase or selling of the securities. See, here it is mentioned that the image of the instruction slip is on the next page. See, here only a image which may given for the your reference. It will not ask in examination that you have to draw the instruction slip, because it is too lengthy. So it is for just your reference, not for asking in examination. Yes, necessary details can be asked in your examination, and it may ask in a way that you have to mention the necessary parts of the instruction slip, or like this way question can be asked that the give the details which are mentioned in the instruction slip. The company can observe its shareholder and their holdings on the website by provided by the NSDL or CDSL. See, company cannot change in a procedure, but company can only see the necessary details which through the help of the website given by the NSDL or CDSL. After watching it, it can be company can observe the all things that who was the old shareholder and who will be the new shareholder for the company. See, company can only observe these things. Otherwise, company cannot transfer the or do a single change in the procedure of the transfer of share. See, here the one kind of example of the instruction slip is given that while you are watching at present on your screen, that the first is the first sole holder's name. So here you have to write a name, date, BOID, that is of the one kind of securities ID, and all the necessary details, that the execution date, in how much you wants to share, securities name in figure, quantity. So all the necessary details should be asked in the instruction slip, and here necessary signature is confirmed while you have to uh, mention it in the instruction slip. See, here three signature is mentioned, so you have to write it in the three column. So this is the instruction slips, one kind of image. As per the instruction slip, broker, bank or financial institution will purchase or sell the shares. See, with the help of the instruction slip, the procedure should be confirmed. Purchase or selling process is done online on computer. See, after giving the instruction slip, the whole procedure should be conducted with the help of the online on computer. Now, a person who wants to purchase share has to pay the price for the share and stamp duty along with the brokerage. See, after necessary the details filled in the instruction slip, all the procedure and all the necessary details should be given, and share and the stamp duty along with the brokerage should be paid. The total amount of the purchase is debited from his account and purchase share are credited into his account. Say for example, if any person, see, here I will give you an example, that person A wants to sell his share and person B wants to purchase the share. See, now the amount from the B is deducted. See, amount should be deducted from the B's account, and after deducting a tax, the amount should be received by the person A, and here amount should be debited. Now in the account of the A, shares are debited, and in B's account shares are credited. Here amount should be credited. This is the procedure. The person who sells his share, then the share can be debited from his demate account, and the shares will be transferred or credited in the person's account who had purchased the share, and the shares which are the debited or credited as per the procedure. Now shares are increased in the shareholders account, means a person who had purchased the shares, the account should be increased. Similarly, if shareholder sell his share, the amount of the sale after deducting the brokerage tax other charges is deposited to his bank account, and shares sold are debited to his demate account. Shares are decreased in his account, means a person's share should be debited from his demate account and credited in the persons who had purchased the shares, and the amount of from the persons is to be debited from the person's account, and it will be credited in the persons who had sell his share. Thus shares are credited or debited to a person's demate account. See, the whole procedure of the debit credit should be conducted after the deducting or the approval of the share in the dematerialization process. It is important to note that when a shares are purchased or sold in this way, the company has no control over it. See, the procedure should be conducted on a dematerialization. At that time, company have no control over it. Company can only observe it that the procedure is conducted properly or not. Company has nothing to do with it. See, company cannot do a single change in this procedure. The whole procedure is done by the institution which function as agent of the NSDL or CDSL. See, the procedure is done by the only an institution which have the control given by the NSDL or CDSL as a agent. See, NSDL and CDSL have given a right to a particular institution for the transfer or for the procedure for this kind of procedure. The company can only observe its newcomer shareholder and outgoing shareholder on the web page. See, company can only observe the newcomer, means the new shareholder that who had purchased the shares, and the outgoing shareholder means a person who had sell his share in consent of the transfer of procedure. The procedure should be observed only on the web page and with the help of the website given by the NSDL or CDSL. So friends, I request you all again that to watch the videos very carefully, as it is your benefit, in your benefit, that you have to compulsorily observe the videos very carefully, because it is one kind of part in this situation for your study is concerned. So I request you all to kindly watch it very carefully, because if you are not able to watch it very carefully, at that time you will not be able to write a single word in your examination. So kindly watch it. Thank you very much.